Back in 1958, Austin High School and Austin Pecelli claimed the public and private school state titles, becoming the basketball capital of Minnesota.
Since then, Pecelli won a state title in 1992. Sports director Sean Teen takes us back to the glory days when Austin High School last won a title. Sean.
Now, Lauren Carson, the Packers have been to 30 state tournaments in boys basketball, but their last title came more than half of a century ago, a championship which still lives on.
No one ever backed down. We always felt like we were in control.
1958 was the glory days for every member of the Austin Packers boys basketball team.
I wasn't a shooter. We would have lost if they were counting on me.
Brian Baudler was a forward on the 58 Packers.
I had 3 years of high school basketball here, and it was fantastic.
Back then, Ovi Bervin coached the Packers. That season, Ovi didn't just have talent, he had some bloodlines as well. Hello, Tom.
Hi, guys.
We met up with Ovi's son, Tom, in Neenah, Wisconsin. Tom was part of that 1958 team.
I think 4 out of our starting 5 were Division I, not necessarily all in basketball, but Division I athletes.
Despite the star talent, the 1957-58 season did not get off to a rosy start.
We actually lost first game of the year to Minnetonka, and that kind of woke us up right away.
It took us a while to kind of hit our stride, so we got better as the year went along.
Following that season-opening loss,
And it was packed every time.
behind a spirited community,
And they would open those doors out to the auditorium, and the auditorium would be full of people.
I know all the fans, we had such great fans.
the Packers won 12 straight games.
I'm sure that that kind of atmosphere is there again.
The Packers' streak came to an end near the end of the regular season with back-to-back losses against Watertown and Red Wing. But the Packers knew they would be okay.
I think we felt that some special things could happen.
After those losses, the Packers won a district title, then a regional title here in Rochester, clinching a spot in the Minnesota State Tournament.
We weren't the favorites, but we thought we had a shot.
It was an eye-opener for all of us.
In Tom's words, the state tournament that year was hair-raising.
53 to 51. So we started with a 2-point win.
The quarterfinal win over Cloquet was close. The semifinals against Wilmer,
That's 2 right here.
that was even closer.
2 most important points.
As it can be seen in this official scorebook, the Packers won their semifinal game over Wilmer 61 to 60.
Manly Osborne hit a shot against Wilmer way out in front, and it banked in. And he's quoted in the scrapbook that my mother kept, a very meticulous scrapbook of all the games and everything. He's quoted there as saying he just threw it up. That was with 7 seconds left in the game.
With the win, the Packers moved on to the state championship game to play Brainerd.
We were down by 5 at halftime.
But like they had done all year long, they responded.
Look at how many points he had the second half also.
Big man Roger Voss scored 15 of his 18 points in the second half.
We had a kind of a breather. We won by 4, I think, or 5 or something. It was,
A breather?
yeah, I mean, that's the way it seemed.
The Packers went on to beat Brainerd 68 to 63,
It was one of the greatest moments of my life.
capturing the Minnesota State boys basketball title.
Winning a state championship is just unbelievable.
The city celebrated the Packers title in grand fashion.
The fire truck ride in Austin, some newspaper articles said there were 4,000 people, some said there were 15,000 people.
The Packers weren't perfect, but they never counted themselves out at any point.
Played outstanding basketball for 3 straight days, and it worked out.
Since 1958, Austin has reached 10 state tournaments, but it's been 60 years since a championship has returned to the high school.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that 60 years has gone by, actually.
It means I must be getting awfully old.
Even though it's been 6 decades since Austin last won a boys basketball state title, the 58 Packers live on.
When you needed a basket, he had to play for it.
To this day, the old gym at the high school is named after Tom's father.
It had a profound meaning for our whole family.
That year, Austin was the home of champions.
We really were, I think, the basketball capital.
Now in 2018, Brian and Tom want today's Austin Packers to taste that title and live their own glory days.
Up and away and down and in.
There's nothing like winning a state championship. It's a fulfillment of everything you work for. That's the goal that you start with at the beginning of the season, and to see it happen it's just really fun. Just you don't forget those moments.
The current Austin Packers boys team, they are the second-ranked team in the Class 3A polls, and maybe coincidence or maybe fate, right across the street, the Lisle Pacelli girls team, they have a shot to win a Class A girls title. The Athletics are the top-ranked team in the Class A polls. Promising times for Spamtown, 60 years after the fact. A lot of fun. Kind of eerie how, like, you know, how similar it is 60
It's
years later.
amazing. I love it.
And I love
to
that-
hear those players talk.
Yeah, and I love how they have a great shot this year too.
It's something like that just never leaves your memory.
No.
Something like winning a state title.
Yeah, fingers
Awesome
crossed.
story, Sean.
Yeah,
Thank
great
you,
job,
guys.
Sean.
Appreciate it.